would appear they don't like English cheese. So, you know, what's to like about the French?
I sent you out on a mission to France to sell quality British products. And I wanted you to take that product and say, this is what us British produce. This is not mass-produced toot. And what you do is you go and buy a Breezebrock load of bloody cheddar cheese.
We could have presented the cheese better. And when we're buying in bulk, that's how it's presented. We could have improved the presentation. So I take that.
The purpose of me putting the cash and carry on the list in the dossier was not to buy the food there, it was to go and buy little bits and pieces. It was quite clear what the task was all about. And you didn't do that.
Mistake number 2, use untested technology.
You open that end, and you open that end. You empty out the beans and maybe eat them for your lunch.
Yeah.
You then open the top of this. Make sure you've got a few vent holes on the top and in the bottom, which you can stab through. Over the top of that, set that alight, stick that in there, and then put your frying pan on top and cook your sausages.
Perfect.
He had as a legacy of his army career some kind of notion of heating up sausages on an upside-down baked bean can with a cigarette lighter in it. I don't know what he was doing.
To be honest, I thought he was joking. I really thought he was in a car going, you know, when you do this and you do that. I thought he was just showing off. I didn't think he was actually going to do it.
When I was struggling to get the burner to light, I was just absolutely taking the piss. I just made sure that Margaret, Nick and everybody else got to see what a complete catastrophe it was.
Yeah, it's gone out again, so I'm trying to hack out a full section.
It was actually very funny watching the sausages failing to sizzle on this baked bean can.
Of course it didn't work. It was a Heath Robinson contraption, backfired at the crucial moment.
Have you got a flame?
Yeah.
I was putting my finger on the fat and it didn't even like warm my finger up. That's how cold that fat was.
It's a total bloody joke.
The burner we made did brown off the sausages and they did look good.
What was this? Is this a joke? Was this some kind of survival thing you were trying to do? You buy a can of beans, you eat the beans, you use the can as your burner. Is that you're telling me?
It browned it off, and I did show some of the browned off sausages, and that did.
Honestly, I think it was nowhere near cooking them. It's something you learnt on the Brecon Beacons on some sort of survival course.
No, it isn't. It was just something I cobbled together.
Certainly that.
You're an ex-military man who knows better than anyone else that the buck stops there.
Mistake number 3 was the worst. Bring Adam back into the boardroom.
What's Adam doing here?
The reason why I brought Adam here is because I feel that on the task itself, he wasn't performing to its maximum. I felt he was out of his depth. In fact, in this whole thing, I think that Adam's one of the weakest people in the house.
Adam, what do you got to say?
On this task, Katie should have been chosen because she was involved in making the big decisions that made the thing go wrong.
Why don't you think he chose Katie
Paul's
then?
decided not to choose Katie because they're too close. They're too good friends. I helped fuck him right up. Set up the boardroom where I said that he was too close to Katie, knowing that Christina was just dying to say that they'd been getting it on.
Friends?
Yeah.
What, you're nodding your head.
If they've got a personal relationship
What do you mean
outside,
by that?
as in that they're together outside the
That's not the
tasks.
case.
You know it is the case.
It isn't.
Spilling the beans was simply snake in the grass stuff.
If she sits on your lap and you're stroking each other and God knows what, that constitutes a relationship as far as I'm concerned.
I was livid and I was so angry that they'd stooped so low.
Anything that affects the outcome of something that's related to business should be dealt with.
Paul, I sent you out to sell the best of British to France. You spent half the bloody day frying sausages on some stupid contraption that the Boy Scouts could have made. And worse than that, Paul, you went out and lost me money. You're a total shambles. You're fired.
Thanks, Sarah.